Today, we're standing in Washington Square Park.
Because if you think that the city's parks are crowded above ground, you should see how many people are buried underground.
I'm Greg Young.
And I'm Tom Myers of the Bowery Boys New York City History Podcast. Let's rewind 300 years to the 1700s when this was farmland.
In fact, old Minetta Brook, Tom, actually came from just north of here, about a mile, all the way down through the western end of what we call the park today. So it was very peaceful, very natural, until the 1790s. But in 1797, this became a burial ground for poor people and victims of yellow fever. It was a potter's field, Tom. There are over 20,000 people still buried here at Washington Square Park.
Then in the 1820s, it was transformed into a military training ground and would remain that until it opened as a park in 1849 or 1850.
But one interesting thing, though, about that park, they built it on top of the old cemetery.
They didn't move the bodies, they just built a training ground and then a park on top of them. But also, every time they renovated the park, did work on the park, built the arch in the 1890s, they would come across bones and human remains. Even as recently as 2015, construction crews who were digging up a water main just east of the park came across two tombs, buried tombs, filled with bodies and even coffins.
Yes, still to this day, there are bodies hidden in various parts around the park. Tom, we could be standing on someone right now.
Or several people.
There were potter's fields in Union Square. There were potter's fields in Madison Square, and then a huge one in Bryant Park.
Kind of makes you wonder what you're walking past down in those subway tunnels.